What's up with it, y'all? Back for the new year, 2020. Everything boxing. There he go talking that boxing again. And I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. What's up with it, y'all? Hold on 1 minute. Let me get off in here and let some people know I'm in the building. I know it's late, this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. So we gotta get it.
It's Crenshaw niggas. That's what it is. From Adams to Perry. It's really what it is. Come in. Yeah. New Nipsey Hussle, check me out. You in trouble, check me out. Pay us now, check me out. Pay me double, check me out. New Nipsey Hussle, check me out. New Nipsey Hussle, check me out. New Nipsey Hussle, check me out. Nigga fuck it, check me out. Nigga fuck it. I came from nothing. Shootouts in public, riding buses, buying Benzes, buying buckets. Knock me off from my grind, that's what they was. My life was ugly.
What's up with it? Mark, salute with it. Y'all LDCB boys off in the building. What it do? Yes, sir. And you already know who I am, Mr. There he go talking that boxing again. And I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all watch reality TV the way y'all be on these posts on Facebook and all of that talking. I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. I don't give a damn what's going on in these fighters' personal lives. I watch boxing. And we gonna get it started. I'm just waiting for some folks to get off in here. It was a spur of the moment thing. I wasn't scheduled to be on. I didn't let nobody know I was gonna be on like that. But we gonna get it. We got a lot to talk about. Get off in this little chat. Kwame East, what it do? And if y'all on Facebook, y'all can join me on YouTube because I'm on YouTube streaming it too. Also, Todd Swindle, what it is? ATL off in the building. And y'all see what's going across that screen? The real boogeyman is back. It's only a matter of time. Brian off in the building. What it do? Brian said, do you know how bad Spence was hurt on his recent crash? What's his condition? Spence is all good. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He already back in the gym training. Everything good. You know what I'm saying? Go check him out. Go check him out. He good. Give me a second. I'm finna get it jumping off. Give me 1 second. I'm finna jump it off right now. So, like I said, I'm back talking that boxing again. There he go talking that boxing again. And I've been sitting back, I've been sick, so that's why I really ain't been on here. I lost my voice and everything. I ain't really been able to come on here and cook like I wanted to. That's why you ain't really seen no content from me lately. But I just been kind of sitting back, listening to everybody else's comments, watching how everybody moving, and A lot of y'all ain't moving right. You know, you worried about everything but boxing. You know, you worried about what's going on in these boxers' personal lives that ain't got nothing to do with y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing that's going on in the ring. And so one thing I wanna let y'all know, like it says across the screen, the real boogeyman is back. Errol Spence recently, he came out and he posted some comments and he let everybody know that in 2020 he coming back for another strap. Yeah, he coming back for another strap. And he said he coming back for that WBO strap. Not just any strap. He want that WBO strap when he come back in 2020. So that telling us what? What does that mean? What does that mean? That means he coming back to take his name back. The real boogeyman. Errol Spence is the real boogeyman. Bud Crawford ain't the real boogeyman in the division because Errol Spence was putting in work at 147, but when Bud Crawford wasn't even thinking about moving up to 147. So yeah, he said he coming back for Bud Crawford. He coming back for that WBO strap in 2020. Now, what that mean? What does that mean? It don't mean that he's coming back for his first fight, but he letting y'all know that he wants that Bud Crawford fight in 2020. So don't be surprised if you see Errol Spence, on Bud Crawford's neck and on Top Rank's neck and PBC and Al Heyman. Bud Crawford want that fight. Errol Spence, he letting it be known that he wants that fight in 2020. So he gonna probably come back for he probably gonna fight Danny Garcia, in the summer, and then he gonna come back and try to get that Bud fight. And that's just what it is. He, like I said, Errol Spence Jr. He put some comments out recently, and he said that he's coming back for another strap in 2020. And he put another comment out and said he coming for that WBO title, and that's the title that Terrence Crawford got. So, let's talk about that. Why don't we talk about that? How everybody wanted to hate on him and say that he wasn't coming back. He was down and out. He was scared of Bud Crawford, this, and that. When has Errol Spence ever showed you that he was scared of anybody? What's good with it, Kenneth Wise? When has Errol Spence ever showed anybody that he was scared of any smoke? He the real boogeyman in the division because he the man that everybody in the division was running from. Let's not forget that. So he gets hurt. He gets a little injury. He shook off that injury. Now he coming back in the boxing world, and he see everybody calling Bud Crawford the boogeyman. Well, if that's the case, he let you know he coming back for that strap. And if you just coming in the building, I'm going to say it once again. Errol Spence, he put out some messages, and he said that he's coming back in 2020, and he wants that WBO strap. And if y'all don't know who got that WBO strap, once again, Terrence Crawford is the holder of that WBO strap. So, and let's talk about, man, how some of y'all boxing fans is moving out here. Every time a report has come up about Errol Spence, all the diehard Terrence Crawford fans, y'all acting like some real hoes. On these posts, posting up about how the man, had a pistol on him. So what if the man have a pistol on him? Who cares if he live in Texas, he's allowed to have a pistol on him. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Big deal. Errol Spence had a pistol on him. He should have a pistol on him. The man walking around with hundreds of $1,000s worth of jewelry on. He a celebrity in his city. He's a celebrity, period. Why wouldn't he have a strap on him? Why wouldn't he be packing? He should have a heat on him. He'll be an idiot not to have a strap on him. But then y'all want to blow it up and make it big news. Like, who give a fuck? Let's talk about what's going on. And what's going on is he is coming back in 2020 to let y'all know that he is the real boogeyman in the division. Now, once again, let me iterate. Terrence Crawford is not no boogeyman in the 147-pound division. Errol Spence is the real boogeyman because Errol Spence been that boogeyman that nobody wanted to fight when Terrence Crawford was still fighting at 135 pounds and 140 pounds. Ain't nobody wanted to fight Errol Spence when Terrence Crawford was still at 140. So how's Terrence Crawford the boogeyman? Did Terrence Crawford beat did he beat Kell Brook to become the boogeyman? No. Did he beat Sean Porter? No. So I mean, let's let these dudes live. What Terrence Crawford is doing, you can't knock what Terrence Crawford is doing. He's great. You know, Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. He doing great things. Let's give Terrence Crawford his props. But let's not try to act like Terrence Crawford is the boogeyman all of a sudden. That Errol Spence is, you know, he took a little hiatus, you know, took a little rest, shaking it off. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He good now. You know, he back. If you follow him, he back. He's showing you, you know what I'm saying? He's smiling in y'all faces, brand new grill, jewelry shining, and telling you he coming back with a vengeance. He coming back with a whole new focus, and he gonna be out here, you know, putting it down. He gonna be out here putting it down. And he gonna put it down all the way into the ring with Terrence Crawford in that mega fight that everybody want to see. And we just might get that fight because both of these dudes is out here and they really want that fight. No matter what you talking about, no matter what y'all think, how y'all acting like that all of a sudden Errol Spence is running. He ain't running from nobody. He ain't never ran from no smoke at 147, and he ain't gonna start running from no smoke at 147. Hold on. So yeah, let me see what y'all talking about. Frank De Niro said, just curious, do you feel Bud got dropped in his last fight? I mean, he got dropped. I don't think that Bud was as hurt as people said he was. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, he went down. I didn't really take too much out of that, whatever you want to call it. Some people say he slipped. Some people say he went down. To me, it wasn't really a big deal because it wasn't like that he was hurt or on the verge of getting knocked out. So, excuse me. He wasn't on the verge of being knocked out. So it really don't matter to me, you know. Well, regardless if Bud Crawford went down or not, it doesn't change the outcome of the fight, and it really don't mean nothing. You know, all that does is for certain fans to be able to brag and say that he went down. That's how I felt about it. Now, if he went down and he was really hurt, that would have meant something to me. That would have been like, okay, this is something we got to watch for. But I mean, you know, things happen. Like I said, it wasn't like he was really hurt, like he went down and he had to really hold to recover, like he was wobbly and all of that. I didn't see none of that. So, you know, it is what it is. Mark Shu says, Bud barely has any wins against great fighters in their prime. Spence's resume is better. Yeah, I mean, the fact is Spence's resume is better. But that ain't really my thing to go on here and go down Bud's resume because I've done that before. We've had debates and we've talked about all of that before. My thing is to let people know, all these diehard Bud Crawford fans that's out here acting like a goddamn fool every time they see anything about Errol Spence posted that's negative, they want to hop in the comments and laugh and call him a drunk and hee ha ha. You can hee ha ha all you want. But he coming back real soon, and he gonna show you, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can laugh now, but you gonna cry later. You know what I'm saying? You can laugh now, but you gonna cry later. It's all fun and games now. You know what I'm saying? You could talk all that shit while you're on the sidelines. But he ain't on the sidelines. You best believe Errol Spence is somewhere tucked off when you not watching. He training, focused. Just because you see him, put little clips up here and there, don't think he ain't training and getting his mind right. Because y'all got a real problem on your hand if he go back to that 2015, 16, 17 the true era of the true Spence. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want the 2016, 2017, 2000, 15 era of the true Spence. Y'all don't want the hungry era of the true Spence before he start getting that big bag. Y'all don't want that truth. And that's the truth that we gonna get when he come back. Watch what I say. That's the Errol the True Spence Jr. that we gonna get when he come back. We gonna see that real dog. And y'all don't want that, trust me. That's what y'all don't want. You know what I'm saying? Draco Bay off in the building. You already know. There he go talking that boxing again. I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. For real, that's what you tell them. When these whole ass dudes come on these motherfucking posts talking about, oh, Adrian Brunner did this and Errol Spence, he got caught with this gun and he did, and this dude, that's reality TV shit. We on here to talk boxing. So I look at him motherfucker in their face and I look at him like this and I tell him, I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. If I want to talk about all that reality bullshit, I might turn on what's they call Atlanta Housewives or Love and Hip Hop, but I don't watch none of that shit because I watch boxing. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk boxing. If we off in this, if we on YouTube and we on these boxing channels, if we on Facebook and these boxing groups, let's talk boxing and leave all of that other bullshit out the way, because ain't nobody that's watching me now and ain't nobody on none of these groups got a perfect lifestyle that they live 24/7. For real. So stop trying to exploit these fighters when you see who cares if Errol Spence had a pistol. Everybody that was on there hee ha ha and posting that shit, you look like bitches. Real talk. Nobody want to see that. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Yeah, Draco Bay. They don't want Errol with the shag. They don't want that shag Errol. And if you in the building, hit my like button. If you in the building, punch on. If you in the building, you watching on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, go ahead and add my Facebook, subscribe. Everything Boxing. I'm on Facebook right now streaming. Okay. It's on. If you go to my page on Facebook, Everything Boxing, go in there and hit the like button. It only takes 1 second to hit that like button. But yeah, like my man Draco Bay said, you do not want Errol Spence with the shag. Lord to the game boxing talk, what it is. Some guy says, do you think Spence and man, what is it? Hold on. He said, do you think Spence and Terrence Crawford will happen in 2020? Yeah, man, I'm starting to, at first I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? But Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? He's a real dog. He a dog. He telling us. Errol Spence said straight up, he said, I don't want no tune-up fights when I come back. I'm good. I don't have no injuries. It ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm straight. He said he want to come back right in the smoke. He said when he comes back, he wants to fight. Excuse me. He said when he come back, he want to fight Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, or Terrence Crawford. Now, let's be realistic. When he come back, he not fighting Terrence Crawford right off the bat, because that fight is just not going to happen right off of the bat when he comes back, okay? So let's look for him to go ahead and do what he was going to do before he left, okay? He going to fight Danny Garcia, and that we'll look for that to happen in May or June. Bam, okay? And then after the Danny Garcia fight, then Let's look to make that Bud Crawford fight. He said he wanted. Bud say he wanted. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? But in the meanwhile, we already know if Errol Spence comes back, right? Let's talk real shit, okay? If in the meanwhile, if Errol Spence comes back in June or May, right? And he fights Danny Garcia, okay? Say he whooped Danny Garcia, right? Errol Spence, his name is already getting bigger and bigger. Every time y'all come on here and post in these groups hating on him, every time TMZ posts about him, you know what I'm saying, trying to bring down his character, it might be making him look like a villain, but what that's doing is making him a bigger and bigger star. People that don't know who boxing is, they know who Errol Spence Jr. is now. And that's a fact. So all that hate, it ain't doing nothing but making him a bigger star. Once he whooped Danny Garcia, when he come back, if he come back and fight Danny Garcia, okay, he might even come back and fight Pacquiao if Pacquiao take that fight. Okay, let's look for him to fight Danny Garcia or Pacquiao. Them two fights happen. He win either one of those fights. He gonna be a mega star. Okay, his stardom just gonna continue to build. All right, and this is hypothetically if all this happens. Okay. Meanwhile, Terrence Crawford needs to fight somebody. Okay, that's the problem because Terrence Crawford's star is not building outside of the diehard boxing fans if he don't fight nobody. That's the problem. Terrence Crawford needs to go fight somebody that everybody knows that can be a big fight. So it ain't the problem ain't Errol Spence Jr. Okay. The problem is who is Terrence Crawford going to fight if he don't want to fight none of these PBC guys but Errol Spence Jr. Okay. Ugas is a great fight for Terrence Crawford. Okay. If y'all don't know, Ugas already beat the shit out of Terrence Crawford in the amateurs. And I know everybody gonna say that this ain't the amateurs, this is the pros. And you right. But I'm just letting you know they already got history. They can build something up on that. You know what I'm saying? They can make a little story. Even though Yordenis Ugas is not a big name in boxing, but I'm just saying from a competitive standpoint, Yordenis Ugas is a good fight, a really good fight, competitive fight for Terrence Crawford. Okay, so that's one fight he can make. But if we're talking about on a competitive standpoint, won't Terrence Crawford do this? If Terrence Crawford and Top Rank really about what they say they're about, okay, I don't doubt Terrence Crawford. But Terrence Crawford needs to, you know what I'm saying, he needs to level down a little bit and realize that he might need to take less money because he's not that guy financially that he think he is, right? Because we all heard him say that he's not taking no 50-50 split with Errol Spence Jr. He a damn fool if he think that he deserved a 50-50 split. I really don't give a damn because ain't now one of them paying me. But I'm just saying from the business aspect of boxing, he's a damn fool if he think that he deserves a 50-50 split. 60 more than a 60-40. 60-40 is cool. But won't they do this? Won't he come have Bob Arum put an offer on the table to Danny Garcia? That'll be a huge fight. Danny Garcia got the Puerto Rican fans. Terrence Crawford got his fans. That's a mega fight. If he stud up and do some shit like that and take Danny Garcia away from Errol Spence as an opponent, and then he whoops Danny Garcia, now we talking. Now Bud Crawford, now then he'll be, he'll start building his superstardom at a much higher level than what it is. He go in there and beat Danny Garcia, whoop Danny Garcia. Now you're going to have all the boxing fans watching. Everybody going to watch that because who ain't going to watch that fight? excuse me, they're going to build the fight. It's going to be the biggest test for Terrence Crawford. It's going to be two fighters that dominated at 140 that came up to 147. Puerto Rican against the black man. I mean, you could just build that fight up in so many ways, right? Then not only did you do that, you took Errol Spence's opponent away from him, right? And say Terrence Crawford whoops Danny Garcia and does it in spectacular fashion. Now you really got to make a fight, because whatever Errol Spence do, they building. He's sitting on the sideline, and his name is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every day. Everybody talking about him. He on the news. I mean, he ain't even got a fight, and his name is getting big. So once that fight happened, that fight gonna be huge. But Terrence Crawford still got work to put in. Period. And yeah, Errol Spence still got work to put in, because whoever he fight next, he still got to go in there and put in work and look good and win at, and and all of that. But like I said, if both of these dudes play their cards right in the next upcoming months, up until this summer, if both of these dudes play their cards right this summer coming up, that fight will happen, and the fight can happen. And the fight can be big enough for it to happen. So it'll be big enough to where Terrence Crawford can get paid big. Errol Spence can get paid big. The networks can make their money. Bob Arum can make his money to where he'll be pushing to make the fight, and everything will be good. But like I said, Terrence Crawford got work to do. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comment section. Jack Ashford said, "What's my opinion on Floyd failing to promote Tank Davis?" Jack Ashford, I made a video about that. I'm not gonna get into that right now on this live, but if you go check out the video, go on my videos, and I made a video about Floyd not promoting his fighters, and I talked about that. A lot of people got mad because I talked about that. I don't give a damn what you get mad about. I'm gonna say what I want to say. You can feel how you want to feel about it. But yeah, I did talk about that. So go check that video out. John Johnson says he'd have an easy fight with Manny and get the most money. Oh, yeah, most definitely. I think that Manny Pacquiao fight is, I wouldn't say is easy, but I think that he really put it on Manny Pacquiao, because styles make fights. And I think that Errol Spence's style is just the best style matchup for Manny Pacquiao. And I mean, I see Errol Spence bullying Manny Pacquiao. He's just big for him, and he's just gonna bully him. We seen we seen Jeff Horn kind of bully Manny Pacquiao, and Errol Spence's levels and levels and levels and leaps and bounds over Jeff Horn as a fighter. Yeah, let me see. Victor off in the building. What it do? He says, hey man, it's these promoters that are killing this mega fight. Yeah, but Victor, the thing is, I mean, Victor, you a major boxing head. You know more boxing than most of us, what I'm saying, could ever learn or forget about. And the thing about that is, Victor, that the promoters, I wouldn't really say the promoters is killing it. The promoters is money hungry. So at the end of the day, they looking at the numbers, and they sitting back and they waiting for this fight to really blow. And what I mean by blow is to where they know that all the diehard boxing fans is going to buy it, which we already are. Now they waiting to get that, that next level of fans, the casual fans, and the cats that really don't even know what boxing is about, or really don't watch boxing like that. So when they get that group of people that they think gonna buy that fight, then they go push to really make that fight. That's why I said Terrence Crawford, he got some work to do to get to that level. And it's work out there for him. It's out there. Bob Arum needs to just go ahead and fuck with them PBC dudes and make it happen. Period. Victor Morales says, yeah, that's a fight that looks good on paper. Yeah, it's a fight that can be built, but it would be such a boring fight. Like you just said, Bud would take Garcia to the woodshed. I don't think that would be a boring fight. You know why? Um, Simply because Danny Garcia is not a boring fighter. Danny Garcia, he pack a lot of punch. Danny Garcia, and I mean, I think that I see Bud outboxing him, but don't sleep on Danny Garcia because he can hurt Bud. I mean, let's not act like Bud got a John Pascal chin. Bud ain't got no Pascal chin. You know, Bud can be hurt. He showed it before several times. So I'm not saying that I mean, I see that being a very good competitive fight. I see Bud outboxing Danny Garcia, but I think it's a really good competitive fight, and that's a big mega fight. Like, who wouldn't? Okay, everybody that's in here watching, let me get through some of these comments. Everybody that's watching, let me know if you would pay to see Bud Crawford versus Danny Garcia. Cameron Buford in the building. He says, I don't think Spence and Pacquiao will be fighting. Crawford don't want none of them Ugas. Yeah, I kind of feel you, Cameron Buford. See, the thing is Top Rank. They want, to me, I feel that they want Crawford in the ring with someone that is going to be someone that can make him look good, someone that he can kind of run through, that they think that he's going to run through and not have no problems with to make him look good. I mean, that's what Top Rank does. You know, Top Rank is really good at building fighters, making them look like they're unbeatable. Let's be real. Let's just keep it real. Top Rank is very good at building fighters, making them look like that they're untouchable and unbeatable. That's what they do. And I'll keep it real. When Top Rank made that matchup with Mean Machine and Terrence Crawford, they thought that Terrence Crawford was going to look spectacular and get him up out of there early. But sometimes, you know, shit just don't turn out like that. Cameron, let me see. Cameron Buford says Crawford would whoop Danny Garcia. He said, why would the two promoters get together and make this this okay fight? I think they would only partner on a mega fight. What you think? I mean, we think that Crawford would. I'm not going to say he would whoop Danny Garcia. Cameron, I mean, I don't see Terrence Crawford whooping Danny Garcia. We never really seen nobody whoop Danny Garcia. Let's go back and let's not act like Danny Garcia a Rudy Poop. Danny Garcia ain't no Rudy Poop. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia can fight. You know, we seen Danny Garcia not live up to his potential in a few fights, but when Danny Garcia get in big fights, he always perform. Look how Danny Garcia performed against Sean Porter. Danny Garcia made that a very, very tough fight for Sean Porter, and he hurt Sean Porter a couple times. And at certain parts in that fight, he was landing that left hook on Sean Porter at will. Now, I did have Sean Porter winning that fight. I picked Sean Porter to win that fight. And I won a whole lot of money on that fight because I bet on Sean Porter. But like I said, Danny Garcia ain't no Rudy Poo. And that's a tough fight for Bud Crawford. I think that's a tough fight for Bud Crawford. That's my opinion. But that's just, you know, like I said. But at the end of the day, the real boogeyman, Errol the True Spence Jr. is coming back. So y'all need to stop calling Bud Crawford the boogeyman because Bud Crawford ain't no boogeyman in the 147-pound division. He ain't did nothing to be no boogeyman, and he ain't beat nobody to be no boogeyman, and ain't nobody running from him because taking nothing away from Bud Crawford, but Bud Crawford over there where the smoke is clear. The smoke is clear over there. Come on to the dark side and get the smoke. Draco Bay says, Yes, Terrence Crawford has to show up to some fights. He says just his presence would speak volumes. He says, meanwhile, like you said, Terrence Crawford fighting DSG would definitely put pressure on Errol Spence and narrow down Spence's options. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Let's talk boxing. If Terrence Crawford really wanted to make a big mega move, won't he go have Bob Arum put that money on the table? Not $2 and $3 million, that bullshit you tried to offer Danny Garcia before. Put the money on the table and stud up on him and have Danny Garcia give him a big offer. You know what I'm saying? Like you did Amir Khan. You offered Amir Khan $7 million. Offer Danny Garcia $7-8 million. He'll take the fight. Because ain't nobody running from Bud Crawford. Maybe Keith Thurman might be running from Bud Crawford, but Keith Thurman injured, so he not even relevant right now. But he'll take the fight. Make the deal. Call a bluff if you don't think he's gonna take the fight. Draco Bay says, hell yeah, I would pay to see Terrence Crawford and DSG. Hell yeah. Why wouldn't? Who wouldn't? I mean, put in the comment section, let me know what y'all pay to see Terrence Crawford and DSG fight. I'll pay for that fight. That's a fight that I'll pay for, and that's a fight that I'll actually go see. I'll go see that fight. I'll pay to go see that fight. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me see. Pooh Dangle's off in the building. What it is? He said Manny Pacquiao only got one more fight with PBC. Yeah, I heard that, but they treat Manny Pacquiao over there good, so he might want to stay with him. Pooh Dangles also said, he said, what it do? Do I know who the last Southpaw Errol Spence fought? Let me see. Let me think. Who was the last Southpaw that Errol Spence fought? I think was Ocampo a Southpaw. I think Ocampo might have been a Southpaw. I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, was Ocampo a Southpaw? When Errol Spence fought his mandatory out there in Dallas, I was at that fight actually. Was Ocampo, I think Ocampo might have been a Southpaw. Dirty Prez off in the building. He says, can Kell Brook make a comeback to relevancy? Nah, man. As far as Kell Brook, he can't. He done, because if you want to really think about it, right? Let's say 147. He can't go to 147. Is a whole lot of dogs that'll be waiting for him, you know what I'm saying? Licking their chops to fight him at 147 because they know he ain't what he was once was, right? And then look at 154. We ain't even got to talk about the 154-pound division. Who he gonna beat there? He ain't beat none of the top dogs there. So, you know, Kell Brook, he might could come back and be a gatekeeper, but I mean, he not. Nah, Kell Brook, when you keep taking layoffs like that and you at 147-pound or 154-pound division, it ain't no breaks. You can't be taking no layoffs because we all know it's dogs in them divisions. Yeah. So Kell Brook, that's a no. Let me see. Victor Morales says that's a fight I would pay to see, like you Ugas or Danny Garcia. Yeah, Victor Morales said he'll pay to see Terrence Crawford versus Ugas or Danny Garcia. Facts, big facts. Victor Morales also said Shakur Stevenson is promoted by Top Rank. The kid is phenomenal. Top Rank is building him up with tomato cans. But Shakur Stevenson is a phenomenal fighter. But Shakur Stevenson is about to go over there to the UK and fight Josh Warrington. Okay. So, and we all know Josh Warrington ain't no tomato can. So Shakur Stevenson at what, 21 years old, is already about to go over there and fight for a major title. Not no Rudy Poop vacant title, or not no Rudy Poop dude that just got a title that, you know what I'm saying, got a title by beating a bum. He fighting Josh Warrington. And Josh Warrington already showed us that he the real deal. So once Shakur Stevenson go over there to the UK and beat the shit out of Josh Warrington, Shakur Stevenson, man, he coming up real fast. And like I said, they're building Shakur Stevenson. They not taking no super slow route with Shakur Stevenson because I think they got confidence in Shakur Stevenson and they really see that he's a real dog and that he got all the skills in the world. And I think they're confident with putting Shakur Stevenson up against any of the top competition. And that tells you a lot. Like I say, and I'm not going to get into that Tank Davis talk right now, but all I got to say is when you got a fighter and you know what he is and you have all the confidence in the world with him, you don't have no plan moving him slow and keeping him from this fighter and keeping him from this fighter and this and that. Nah, you throw him in there with the best competition because you got all the confidence in the world that your guy gonna beat, you know what I'm saying, the next man and whoever they put him in the ring with. And that's just what it is. That's the era I came up from. Victor Morales says, look, I love my Puerto Rican fighters. We're known for having hearts and guts, not taking anything away from Garcia, but he's been exposed. I mean, Danny Garcia, I mean, what's exposed though? Because he lost a couple fights to the best guys out there. I mean, I wouldn't say that he's been exposed. And I'm not a huge Danny Garcia fan, but I'm just keeping it real. You know, I don't think the man been exposed. He's still a very good fighter. I just don't think that Danny Garcia is able to beat the top echelon of guys at 147 pounds. Until he showed me different, I'm gonna say that. But I mean, as far as him being exposed, I don't think he's been exposed. I mean, like I said before, just because some of these fighters got some losses on their records, let's not count them out because them dudes in the UFC, they can have 15, 20 losses and they still fighting for titles. And we see him, you know, come back with 15 losses and fuck around and beat the top guy in the sport. So let's stop shitting on some of these fighters for having some losses. Now, and I'm not saying that you shitting on him or nothing like that. I'm just speaking in general. Draco Bay says DSG is an excellent counterpuncher with a good pop, and Terrence Crawford gets sloppy and has some questionable chin and C- defense. It'll be a great competitive matchup. Yeah, like I said, I think that'll be a great fight. I think that'll be a hell of a fight. Myself, I think it'll be a hell of a fight. Once again, that's a fight that I would pay for. You know, I'll pay big money to see that fight. I will order it, definitely order it. And that's a fight that I would highly, highly consider going to see live. So, I mean, yeah. So y'all get ready, you know. So let's just talk about if Terrence Crawford don't make that move. I put the move on the table, you know. That's a move that Terrence Crawford can make, like I said. Have him make that Danny Garcia fight. If Danny Garcia gets through Ivan Redkach, Danny Garcia got a fight coming up. I believe is later this month with Ivan Redkach. If he gets through the fight with Ivan Redkach, which everybody, you know, seems to think that he will. And Ivan Redkach ain't no punk neither. You know, Ivan Redkach went in the ring a few months ago, and you know, he stopped Lamont Peterson. And we ain't seen too many dudes stop Lamont Peterson. No, my bad. Not my bad. Ivan Redkach, he didn't stop Lamont Peterson. He stopped Devin Alexander. My bad. He stopped Devin Alexander, right? You know, Devin Alexander is not anywhere near his prime. You know, he's on the back end of his prime. He's about out the door. And shout out to Devin Alexander because I fuck with Devin Alexander. But I mean, everybody know that he's nowhere near his prime. But Ivan Redkach went in there and he stopped Devin Alexander, and he looked really good doing it. So if Danny Garcia go in there and knock out Ivan Redkach and make some noise, he gonna be right back in the mix. And so that'll be a great fight for Terrence Crawford to steal away from Errol Spence. Because if Terrence Crawford steals that fight from Errol Spence, then he'll kind of put Errol Spence in the bind. Errol Spence will be left to fight Manny Pacquiao. And I don't think Manny Pacquiao want that fight. I'm going to just keep it real. I don't think Manny Pacquiao want that fight, right? If Errol Spence don't fight Manny Pacquiao, who else he going to fight? We got the Sean Porter fight on the table. I don't even think he'll be able to fight Sean Porter because, truthfully, if Errol Spence is not fighting for a title, excuse me, I got a cold. I'm getting over this cold, so y'all going to have to excuse me a little bit. But if Errol Spence ain't fight for no title, he got like 2 mandatories. So if he don't fight for one of them titles, because unification bout, they could kind of push that mandatory to the side and override a mandatory. So if he don't fight Danny Garcia Danny Garcia ain't got no title, but I think he could fight Danny Garcia. Because that was a fight that was already in the works, right? But if he don't fight Manny Pacquiao or somebody, they might make him fight one of his mandatories. So I mean, hey, let's see what move. The thing is, like I said, Errol Spence is already he's already a star, and he already becoming a mega star each and every day that passes. Terrence Crawford got work to put in. Terrence Crawford is the one that really need to put in some work, and he needs to come up with a big fight that everybody gonna want to watch and pay for to put him on the map more than what he is. Pooh Dangle says, do I believe in counter offers? Yeah, I believe in counter offers. What you getting at? If the counter offer is relevant and it's big enough. Pooh Dangles also said Ivan is a 5'10", 71-inch reach southpaw, similar to Spence's size. Yeah, that's like I said. If Danny Garcia go in there and get Ivan Redkach out of there and look spectacular at doing it, he gonna be right back on the map. Victor Morales says you gotta watch out for this kid in the 147 division. I believe his name is Ellis. The kid is phenomenal. The kid has fastest hands I've ever seen. Ellis. I know about Jerron Ennis. Ellis. Victor, what's his first name? The kid you talking about, Ellis. Pooh Dangle said Danny is a WBA mandatory. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Danny Garcia. He's a WBC mandatory. So that's what I'm saying. Danny Garcia and Errol Spence can fight, right? They can fight each other because that's one of Errol Spence's mandatories. And Errol Spence actually has a mandatory for his IBF belt too. But if Errol Spence don't fight Danny Garcia and say, like I said, let's just say Terrence Crawford make a power move and get Danny Garcia to fight him, right? That kind of put Errol Spence in the bind, because then if he don't fight for a unification bout with Manny Pacquiao, that's kind of going to make him have to fight his mandatory for the IBF. If that IBF, really push the issue and say, that he want that fight. If the guy from the IBF, some Russian dude or something like, they ain't a Russian dude. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try to. But so yeah, Errol Spence, he got 2 mandatories. One is Danny Garcia, and one is the Russian dude. So yeah, but I mean, 2020, we here. 2020, we here. Let's look for a great year in boxing. It's a lot of fights to be made. It's a whole lot of fights to be made, a lot of fights to be talked about. And we as fans, we got to talk about these fights, and we got to continue to push the best fighting the best. That's what I want to see. I want to see the best fighting the best. Regardless if I like you or not, it don't matter. The best got to fight the best. That's what I want to see. That's what they need to give us. You said, I don't know. I think Ennis. You said you think it's Ennis. He fought my friend in 2017 and beat my friend. His hands are crazy fast. His defense is on point. Yeah, Jaron Ennis he coming up in the 147-pound division. He was calling out Errol Spence, trying to get his name out there, but we all know what that was about. That fight is irrelevant for Errol Spence, but Jaron Ennis is a prospect. He coming up. Like I said, the 147-pound division is just getting better and better. We got the young bull from Texas, Virgil Ortiz. Let's not forget about Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, he already out here calling out the big dogs, right? Virgil Ortiz, he already calling out the big dogs. So 147-pound division, it ain't nowhere to hide. Like I said, 154 and 147, it ain't nowhere to hide. So these guys is eventually got to fight. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. You said if Crawford fights Danny next, Spence can fight. Okay. Cool. Let me see how you pronounce that. Kudralitilo. Abidurov. Spence could fight Abidurov for his mandatory. Yeah, that's what I said. I think that Spence is gonna have to fight that dude Abidurov if Crawford pull a power move and fight Danny Garcia. But like I said, I doubt that it happened. But it's just something that I'm putting out there. I doubt that Bob Arum is gonna pull a power move and go ahead and take Danny Garcia off the table and offer him big money to go over there and fight Terrence Crawford. Because let's get it, let's get it straight. Let's get it straight. Danny Garcia wasn't about to go over to Top Rank and fight on Top Rank's platform for no funky ass $3 million that Bob Arum said that he offered Danny Garcia before. For what? Why am I going to go to your platform and go fight on ESPN for $3 million and then you turn around and offer Amir Khan, the guy that I already knocked out? Amir Khan been washed up for years. You go and offer him $7 million. But then you say that you want to fight the guys from PBC. Hey, it don't make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Let me see. Draco Bay says it's all mental, emotional. It's all mental / emotional for Errol. Like you say, he's ticked off. Yeah. Don't think Errol Spence. He coming back with a vengeance. He coming back on your ass, and he coming back with a vengeance. He coming back with a whole different focus, and he gonna be ready. Like I said, y'all don't want that shag, the Errol Spence with the shag. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want the shag Errol Spence back. That's what you scared of. That's what you scared of. You scared of the Errol Spence with the shag to come back. And I'm telling you, when he come back, he gonna be better than ever. Let me see. He said, but what if Bob pushed the IBF for his purse bid to get Spence on ESPN? Is that dude? So are you saying that Spence is mandatory for the IBF? Does he fight for Top Rank? Who is he fighting under? Because that I don't know. I don't like I said, I know who Spence's mandatory is for the IBF, but I never seen dude fight, and I don't know too much about him. I know his name and I know that he has a mandatory, but I never seen that dude fight. I don't know nothing about him. Cameron Buford says, I don't think Spence and Pacquiao will be fighting. Crawford don't. Oh no, I read that. That's old. Okay. Victor Morales says these promoters and sanctioning bodies need to make sure that these fighters are good physically and mentally stable to fight. Yeah, I mean, these promoters, somebody, if the thing with the promoters is if they got a top dog that's bringing them money, these promoters are going to make sure that they put these guys in the right fights. Because at the end of the day, that's their money. But see, PBC, Errol Spence and them, they their own promoter. So how it works with Al Heyman, right? And this is what another fighter said when he talked about Al Heyman. He said, this is how it works, right? He says, you'll go to Al Heyman with a fight that you want, right? You'll say, okay, I want to fight this dude. I'm sick of this dude. He's been talking a lot of shit. I want to fight this dude, right? If Al Heyman don't think that's a good fight for you, and you might be, putting yourself out there to lose, Al Heyman might tell you, well, I don't really want you to, what I'm saying? That I don't think that's a good fight for you to take. I don't see that's a fight for that, you should take. But he says that if you like adamant about it, like, no, I want that fight, make the fight happen. He said he'll be like, all right, we'll make the fight. If that's who you want to fight, we'll make the fight. Of course, it's a little bit more difficult if you're talking about a cross-promotional fight. But if it's a fight that could be made, them guys on the PBC side, if they both want the fight could be made easily, right? It's not, it ain't really no protecting. If one guy say they want to fight and the other guy say they want to fight, the fight's going to be made. Okay. And this is coming from a guy, a fighter himself. Abner Mares actually said that. He said, he said that's how the fight was made between him and Gervonta Tank Davis. He says he went to Al Heyman and he said that he wanted to fight Tank Davis. He said Al Heyman told him that he didn't think that was a good idea, that he didn't really want that fight for him. And he said he told Al Heyman, no, I want that Tank Davis fight. And so Al Heyman was like, okay, well, I work for you. So if that's the fight that you want, that's the fight you shall receive. So everybody, that's how it worked on the PBC side. Like I said, it's different if it's a cross-promotional fight, because if it's a cross-promotional fight, then they got to then Al Heyman got to sit down with Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn or Oscar De La Hoya or whoever it may be. And then they got to work out all the numbers and then go back to the fighters. And then they got to make sure the fighters are satisfied. And then Bob Arum, he got to make sure that his pockets is going to be fat, that he's satisfied. So it's a lot more difficult. So like I said, if any of these dudes on the PBC side ain't fighting each other, it ain't got nothing to do with Al Heyman and the promotion. If they under the PBC banner and they under the same promotional banner with the PBC, if they both want to fight, the fight can be made straight up. And that's coming from Abner Mares, that has a close relationship with Al Heyman. He said that. So that's what that is. Let me see. I read that one already. Okay, so Pudango says, yeah, he's a top ranked guy. So Errol Spence is mandatory for the IBF belt. The Russian dude or whatever he's the foreigner dude, he's a top ranked guy. Yeah, so that's like you said, so yeah, that will go to purse bid. So that fight, that will have to go to a purse bid. So that's crazy. That's a interesting scenario right there that you did bring up. That's an interesting scenario because what if Bob Arum fucks around and wins a purse bid for the IBF for Errol Spence's IBF mandatory, right? And then Errol Spence has to go on ESPN platform and fight and defend his IBF mandatory. What if that did happen? But I'm gonna tell you why that's not gonna happen. Because the reason that's not gonna happen is because, for one, Bob Arum is not gonna spend that much money on a not top level fighter. You see what I'm saying? Like that guy is not one of Bob Arum's top dogs. Bob Arum also knows that guy has slim to no chance in beating Errol Spence Jr. So Bob Arum, being the businessman that he is, Bob Arum is not gonna put, that big amount of money up for that fight, knowing that he still has a fight that, a big mega fight in the works with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. So if that does go to purse bid, if it does happen to go to purse bid, look for PBC to win that purse bid and have that on, and have him come over to the PBC platform and fight Errol Spence for the title. That's what I see going down. You also said you was thinking Bob was going to do the same to try to get AJ versus Pulev on ESPN. That can happen. I mean, that can happen, but Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn, they've worked together, on several different occasions, a lot more, that can happen. But I mean, that is a trash fight. Anthony Joshua versus Pulev is a fucking trash fight. Like that fight is garbage. Pulev is garbage. Pulev is trash. I mean, I ain't gonna call him trash, but Pulev is not nobody that should be fighting for nobody's title. And Anthony Joshua, I mean, yeah, nobody wants to. I don't want to see Anthony Joshua fight Pulev. But that's a whole different story and a whole different conversation that I will get into, on a different live. I'll get into all of that, the heavyweight, because we still got to talk about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. It's a lot to talk about. Like I said, I just haven't been doing my lives because I've been real sick. But I'm starting to get over it now. So I will be on here doing lives on a normal basis. And you better believe that. And we got a lot to talk about. So yeah, it's getting late. What time is it? I've been on here for an hour, so before I get up off of here, anybody else that's watching, anybody else got anything, to add in on what we was talking about? And so once again, like I said, Errol Spence Jr. is coming back to show you that he is the real boogeyman. And he let it be known that he's coming for Terrence Crawford. He says that in 2020, he coming for another strap, and he wants that strap that Terrence Crawford got. He wants that WBO strap that Terrence Crawford got. He let it be known. And just let me know how y'all feel about that, because it's going to happen. That fight's going to happen. If that fight does not happen in 2020, for some reason, at the end of 2020, that fight will happen early next year. I don't want to wait that long, but let's all hope and pray that we get the fight that we want to see. We got two big, huge mega fights that could change the whole face of boxing. Why not? We in a whole new decade, right? 2020. Why don't they give us Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder? We already getting Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, right? That's a big mega fight. And then on top of that, give us Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. Man, you know how big that would make boxing? You know how big that would make boxing? Everybody that's not watching boxing now, they'll be watching boxing if we get those fights. So, like I said, let's hope and pray we get them fights. But anyway, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And you already know what it is. Mr. There he go talking that boxing again. And I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. And you already know what I said. Anything ain't everything, but around here, everything boxing. I appreciate you for tuning in. And if you missed the show, go ahead and watch the replay. I'm out.